Okay, so I'm here, Kieran starts that pushing movement. I keep my knee in so I don't let it flare out to the side. I keep pushing in. I escape my hip a little bit so that I can get his foot into the crease of my elbow. This is really important. Okay, I need to keep it here the whole time. Okay, the next thing I want you, can you spin back this way for me, Kieran? Thank you very much. The next thing that I want you guys to do is you're gonna hook this far leg. Okay, if I leave this up on the side, there's kind of an easy line for Kieran to start leg dragging it across and stepping around. If I hook, it takes away that power. I need to keep this flared open as much as I can. And then the final thing that I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and scoop myself in a little bit underneath him. See how Kieran's weight kind of fell forwards a little bit? So this is where I want you guys to get B in. And now I just want you to try and like move your partner around a little bit. See if you can set up their balance, play around with the collars, like lift up their leg off the ground, just for like 5 or 10 seconds, and then switch to the other person. So the position again, I've pulled into my De La Riva. I feel like he's going to start pushing or trying to step over to the knee slide. I escape my hip a little bit. My arm goes through that gap as deep as I can to get to my elbow. The other foot hooks, okay, and then I try and bring myself underneath Kieran so that his weight kind of tips forwards. And we can use either collar, and then from there, I just maintain this position as I use my core and my legs a little bit to off-balance my partner. That make sense, guys? So the person on bottom should be in like a compact ball while this is happening. There shouldn't be any space for the person on top to kind of fit in. Make sense? Let's try. 1, 2. So same thing, pull into De La Riva, set this grip. Remember this, when I'm here, I need this to be on my ankle. Okay, what a lot of people do, particularly when they start, they hold onto their shin, thinking it's the same thing. Okay, and it's not, it's very loose. It'll feel very different for Kieran. Yeah, his leg's gonna be mobile around here. So what I want you guys to do is make sure that you're kind of making a fist, because this strengthens your whole arm, and really focusing on keeping that in the elbow. Okay, from here, same thing, I hook myself underneath. The first movement that we're gonna make is I'm gonna try and pull down on this far collar and extend my hook to bring Kieran's weight in this direction. Okay, so I'm trying to push him toward the ground and pull his knee down so his leg floats. Now, I'm going to use my knee to push Kieran's leg back towards the ground and execute a sweep. Okay? I'm essentially, it's not very nice, it's quite painful. I'm essentially keeping his leg straight and forcing it down towards the ground. Okay, so he's got no other place. Because he can't hop with this leg, he can't go anywhere else. Okay? So I'm here, I've pulled De La Riva, I get onto my side, I get this grip underneath. Hook behind, pull myself in, extend away. So Kieran's now floating. He's staying on his foot rather than dropping to his knee, so I use my knee and my shin to push it down towards the ground. That makes sense, guys? Now at this point, I want to abandon the collar grip. I'm going to keep my leg hooked, turn him over towards the inside, and repummel my leg free. Okay, so I'm using my foot and my leg as a way of bending Kieran's towards the inside. This will become important later. And then I can circle it free. If I go the other way, it's quite hard because I can't pull my leg underneath me. I need to go, same as we did like last week with the weight stuff, I need to circle this all the way in, and then I can start standing up from there and being in good posture. Okay, so I get to my De La Riva, we're here, elbow deep, hook myself in, bring his foot off the floor, hop his leg down, roll over to this side. Circle my leg and I can start standing up from there. Come on. I'm in De La Riva, underhook, hook, hips underneath. Extend him away, bring his leg off the ground. Now I push his knee down and back. Release the collar, turn towards the inside, keeping hold of his foot. So I'm bending his leg. Then I can start standing and recover my position. Make sense? Let's try. 1, 2. Back this way. Straight down through his knee joint. Yes. Now roll over to the other side. Hook. That's it. Circle. Pull the knee back. Yeah, try and stay on your foot, start. Yeah. And now, you see where her knee is? Yeah. That is the line. Yes. Let go of the collar. And now turn towards your right. But keep your leg hooked, and then you can recircle your leg underneath and stand up from there. So we're working on, this is like a little off balance that we can use from this underhook. It's not a really high percentage sweep, but it makes the person want to put their knee towards the ground, and it makes them want to turn their hip, which is where we're going to go to next. Plus what we can do is then use this same kind of leg hook position in a few moments to start inverting and taking the back from there as well. So it's a nice little connection. Yeah, start underhook, get really, you're going to get closer to him. all the way into your elbow here. Now hook behind his knee. Good. Try and scoot yourself in as much as you can. Up, you've lost that elbow. There you go, nice. And now what I want you to do, you're gonna push that direction, and now try and lift his leg up off the ground. There you go, nice, stop. Stay there. See where his knee is? You're gonna try and push through his knee to sit, yep, that's it, perfect. Let go of the collar. Turn all the way over that direction, pull his leg with you, circle your foot inside, and stand up. Exactly, just like that stuff. In terms of the technique, it's not that complicated as long as you get that knee off the ground. So I go here, hook myself in underneath. I like to switch to this collar because I can pull down, extend, and I get over to here. And now I start pushing through Kieran's knee. One of the things that will happen really frequently is Kieran will drop his other knee to the ground to take away that pressure, right? So go back up standing for me. When I'm here, Kieran's leg is bending this way, okay? So he's able to bend forwards and backwards, so when I push against his knee, I can take him down. When he drops his knee and turns his hips, it's going up to the ceiling. I can't do that anymore. But when I come over here, he drops that knee. I'm now essentially in the waiter position. I've dropped my knee towards the inside. I'm going to replace this hand from the collar underneath his leg, and I pull myself all the way underneath him to here. Okay, just like we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Once I'm in this position, we have the sweeps that we worked. I can drop him over, fall towards the inside, and then re-pummel. Or if he's like leaning his weight really far over my head, here, I can up, spin in towards the baby bolo and start taking out towards his back. You can choose whichever of those sweeps you want to practice, but we'll work it through. Just keep working on the different ones so you get some reinforcement of the technique. Again, I'm in De La Riva. I escape my hip, get to that elbow position. Hook behind, hop my hip in, pull on that collar, extend. Kieran drops his knee to the ground, so his knee turns up. My foot connects to his ribs. This bit's really, really important. It has to come from where the De La Riva is up to his ribs. Shin goes behind, arm goes through the hole. Son, come this way for you. I'm in De La Riva, underhook deep, hook, pull my hips underneath. Bring this down, extend over. Shin comes up high, so I'm going higher than his knee. Hook behind. Or take the back from there. Make sense, guys? Let's try. 1, 2. So we've been working on the waiter sweep for probably 3 weeks now. It's a really important position, not necessarily because we're going to use it a ton in jiu-jitsu or in like sparring, because the way we lift and manipulate the hips. What I've done today is I've not gone heavily over the previous sweeps that we've done intentionally, because I want them to have to think about what they're doing. Like, it's a really important way of learning is not having things like spoon-fed to you. It's forcing people to remember the actions. That helps to ingrain it more into their body. So we've kind of hidden the waiter sweep techniques inside of this, inside of this different way of setting it up, so that they get to practice it and they get to think about what they're doing to do the attacks and hopefully learn more. So the last thing we're gonna look at, we're gonna look at what happens if someone starts to like put pressure on my neck, and a way that we can use it to start connecting to the back. So essentially what we're gonna do is this. Anything that makes me feel like I want to get out from underneath him. Doing as well is starting to pull this leg away, where I'm no longer on his hips in the same fashion. What we're going to do is we're going to go back the way that we came over to here. Okay, so I'm bringing myself to the side. I'm basically just moving my chest away from Kieran's leg. Okay, now this is the bit that's going to look really, really fancy, but it's actually quite simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go my face towards the ground. I'm going to sit my hips on Kieran's leg here. Then I'm going to throw my legs back over so I can start connecting in towards here at Kieran's back. Okay? Like I said, it looks really fancy because we're going to the back, but all I'm doing is rolling over my face. Like I'm here, I'm going like this. Like, I think most of you guys could probably do that, as long as you don't try and spin or do anything too fancy, okay? So again, we're here, I underhook, hook, pull myself in, extend, Kieran drops, go one. Yeah, go back this direction. Face to the ground. Here, look, I'm just flat rolling, and now I'm pulling this in, and I want to sit my butt on Kieran's knee to trap it to the floor. Now I take this leg, I bring it up and over, and I try to sit to Kieran's hips as quickly as I can. Okay, from here, we can do anything to start taking his back and coming out. Okay? Come this side for me, Kieran, please. So again, here, underhook, hook behind the knee, hop myself in, extend, get to here. Okay, switch to my weight. Mean to me, I go back to this position. This is the hardest bit. Okay, I'm just unwinding where I did. Now I do a flat roll. Face comes towards the ground, sit my hips on Kieran's knee. When I'm going here, this leg that's free, there's only one that's free, is gonna come behind, and I hook underneath, and I sit up. Okay, and then from there I can start pulling Kieran's hips back and round, taking his back or doing whatever I want from that point onwards. Make sense, guys? Any questions? Let's try. 1, 2. Okay, so we went here and knocked him down towards the ground, right? When I brought my hip over, this is the same position. Okay, it's not changed. Now Kieran's just sat on his butt. If Kieran went up to his knee, this would be the same weighted position that we were in before. Okay, so it connects together. So when Kieran's on his hip, like I've just knocked him over and turned my hip, I can do the same thing. Up to his hips and take his back from there. Does that make sense? It's putting us in the same position again if we knock them down. Person on top, be on your knees to help them out when you're trying to take the back rather than laying flat down. But other than that, practice being in this position here. Underhook, hook, pull yourself underneath. Kieran stays on his toes. Here, I force his knee towards the ground, turn towards the inside, come up. Sit on his hip, start chasing his back from here. And I run out of room because I hit the wall. Make sense, guys? So try to put those two techniques together, and it forms a nice little chain where you can always connect to the back or get up on top. Let's try. 1, 2. So this is the final piece to try and reinforce learning, because we've gone back to the first sweep that we did to try and make sure that they understand how it works and what we're trying to achieve, and then reconnect it to our roll. You got to get his leg going straight, remember? So first, we got to knock him back in the first sweep, remember? So he didn't go that far. You did the straight leg and tried to break his knee. So go back to the beginning for me, Peter. Start from the beginning. So you're in De La Riva. Underhook. Hook behind his leg. Extend, knock him off balance. Here, get his leg off the ground. Turn over a little bit more. Stop. Stay on your toes. So when you were here, all you did, you see you lost this not elbow deep position. There you go. Now you're just pushing his leg straight and knock him over. But don't release the De La Riva hook, otherwise he's going to come free. Just push down on his knee. Now turn towards the inside. Yeah, let go, turn. Keep that up in your elbow joint. Scooch in, turn, back step, and you'll bring Tristan's hips has to go, and then you can chase the back from there. The problem that you're having is you're letting this be in super loose when you're doing it. It has to stay in the crook of the elbow the whole time. That's really important.